Source Award for the producer of the year goes to the Neptunes.
Man, thanks, man. Star Trek is definitely here.
When it comes to the art of making hit records, there are few humans, if any, better than the Neptunes. It's commonly believed that in 2003, the Neptunes had produced over 43% of songs played on the radio in the United States. And although this is incorrect, the fact that most people believe this myth only confirms the group's dominance. But what was it about the Neptunes and their sound that allowed them to dominate not one genre, but multiple genres of music? Now, the first thing the Neptunes made sure to do with every song and every beat was make it as catchy as possible. Probably the most important thing to make anything catchy is the groove. And few songs are a better example of this than Grindin' by the Clips.
Maybe just a beat.
That's pretty much the beat. There's a few instruments sprinkled throughout, but that's really the focus and the center of the beat. And that song ended up going number 30 on the Hot 100 overall. Despite it being that simple, this is why it worked.
You hear that kick, it's gonna hit you in the back. Ba-boom! You hear that snare, it hits you in the back of your neck. So it's like when you hear that kick and snare, it just gets you in that groove. But if it's weak, you ain't gonna feel that way, you know what I mean?
I think it's something you gotta do standing up or else it doesn't look as cool. So now, let's say you wanted to create your own groove. Let's just follow what Chad did. So first, right here, you started with a nice little kick sound. Then just add some sort of snare, clap, slap a table, slap a butt. So boom, we got a nice little groove going. If you want to take it a step further, just sprinkle little instruments throughout. Some great spots to add bounce would be like right here on the thirds. The thirds always sound pretty good. See, it's just drum sound effects and you want to dance. You're probably dancing right now. Or maybe you're on an island, enjoying a nice vacation with a special someone. Either way, I've got good news for you. In the description, you can download the sounds I just used for free. And make sure you subscribe because more blessings are on the way. Next thing the Neptunes made sure to do in every song was create some sort of feeling. Whenever you turn on anything that they produced, you instantly felt some sort of a vibe. It was infectious. But the real question is, how can you do this? How can you create a feeling whenever you make a track? Alright, so first, obviously the groove, like I said earlier. Second, the sounds you use in your sound selection can really completely change the vibe of any song and kind of create a totally different feeling. So for example, I'm just gonna use the exact same chords and use these different sounds, and you'll see just how much it changes up the vibe with the sound alone. Next thing you could do if you want to create a certain feeling is scales. So every scale has a different kind of emotion attached to it. In the description, I have like a little list that you can download to look at the different emotions of each key, and that can be really helpful for creating a certain feeling.
When Mystical wanted to work with us, the only thing he talked about for the first hour was Super Thug.
He wanted that.
He's like, man, that Super Thug, man. I said, man, you know what you need to do with that energy, dude? You need to harness that with a like a James Brown feel. He's like, James Brown? So I played the beat.
And he freaked out.
So Pharrell said something very interesting there. He's not trying to create a new James Brown or anything like that. Instead, he's taking inspiration from the feeling that James Brown created in order to create something completely new and totally different. And so one of the ways that you can do this is look up the BPM of a song. That alone can help you with kind of creating the same rhythm and same bounce that you feel. 2, go and look up the chords. Play them with different instruments. Kind of just understand what about that chord progression created that sort of feeling that I'm looking for, and then try to make it your own. And then for the third tip, rhythm is really important. So if you can kind of mimic the rhythm of a song, look up a song you want to kind of analyze. So we got Frontin' by Pharrell right here. Then go to some YouTube converter and download the track. Just look up the BPM. So right here it's 102. Then you just change the BPM right here to match. Drag in the song. And then I usually like to start with a kick drum, and I'll go in and pull them where I'm hearing them on the beat, and then just kind of build the rhythm from there. Add in additional drums, take certain drum sounds out, and then kind of bring in your own style into it in order to make something that just sounds completely different. Now this last thing that the Neptunes did is really, in my opinion, the reason why they were so successful and even until today are able to make hit songs.
Say that, man, you're dealing with an industry that, like, when they realize that something works, you got those corporates breathing down your back like, listen, that's brilliant, you need to do it again. Now me and Chad, we've always just said, you know what, we're not going to do it.
As you can see, they really made it a point to not get boxed in and kind of create the same sound over and over again. There's a variety of ways they did this. First, they went into multiple genres. They didn't make hits in just one genre. They didn't just make one style of beats. They really made everything. R&B, pop, hip-hop, reggae. They had their own band, NERD, obviously. I'm a fan. And I'm not saying that you should go out and, try to create songs in every genre. One of the things that's helped me personally the most as a producer is stepping out into other genres, learning how they make their beats, and kind of taking what I like for my own style and my own production.
See this big piece of gear? About all this shit just to make some wacky sounds. You plug one, it goes.
And lastly, as you can see there, they were always experimenting, trying to push their sound forward. If you listen to any of their music, there's always some little, sprinkle of something that sounds really unique, and you're just like, what was that? And now, how do you experiment? Feel free to check out these videos, as I enjoy experimenting as well. And I feel like these might inspire you to, try and do some new cool things.